Madam Deputy President, I rise to give the House an update on the proposed Bendenine Wind Farm, a proposal for 90 wind turbines and a battery energy storage system to be located between the townships of Binalong and Bowning in the Southern Tablelands. The developer, Wind Prospect, has been preparing a scoping report as the first stage of work prior to developing and submitting an environmental impact statement. Over the past few months, I've had a number of conversations with local residents in the Bowning region, including the Mayor of Yass Valley, Councillor Jasmine Jones. The project has also been the subject of a considerable amount of media interest. Local residents have expressed concerns over the scale and placement of the project, noise impacts on environment, mental health, local amenity, social cohesion, bushfire risk and a lack of transparency by the developer. There have also been concerns over the impact of the project on other important industries in the area, including from the veterans charity Remount. Recently, however, Wind Prospect advised residents that it was putting the scoping report for the project on hold while it does further consultation. This announcement has been very warmly received by the local community, and the onus is now on Wind Prospect to address community concerns and to see if it can develop a revised project scope that the community can live with. Previously in this place, I've spoken about issues with two other renewable energy projects in the Goulburn electorate. The proposal for 660,000 solar panels at Gundary and a proposal for up to 1.2 million solar panels at the nearby Merino Solar Farm project. Both of these projects have caused significant anxiety and stress for local residents. The Gundary project is currently under assessment by the Independent Planning Commission, while the Merino project is at an early stage in the process. Madam Deputy President, I'd like to acknowledge the community near the Merino proposal who have been keeping my office informed of their continuing interactions with the developer while they wait for the EIS to be released. As I've said in this House before, the transition to net zero is absolutely non-negotiable. We have to do it for both economic and environmental reasons, and we have to do it urgently. But how we get there matters. If regional communities are going to have to do the heavy lifting of hosting large-scale wind farms, large-scale solar farms, industrial-scale batteries and transmission lines, then those communities also need to see the tangible benefits. To that end, the Southern Tablelands region is also home to a renewable energy project that ticks all the boxes. The Goulburn Community Energy Cooperative was formed in 2020 with a mission to build a community-owned solar farm in Goulburn. The solar farm is located on former industrial land that is leased from the Australian Rail Track Corporation and right next to the Sydney to Melbourne rail line. Stage 2 civil works on the site, including levelling, spraying, seeding, sediment control and contouring and enlarging the sediment pond, have all been completed and racks and solar panels have been installed. The next stage is to install a 4 megawatt battery so that the facility can pump renewable energy into the grid during off-peak times when it's needed most. The Goulburn Community Energy Cooperative has forged ahead because it's been prepared to work collaboratively with people. That is part of the DNA of a member-owned enterprise. It will deliver affordable, clean energy into the grid for local consumers, and the profits from the facility will be retained in the community too. Madam Deputy President, this cooperative model is one that renewable energy investors should look at and learn from. And it should be considered one of a range of complementary strategies that proponents of renewable energy generation projects could and should be using to build much needed trust with local communities. For example, consultation should be face-to-face. It shouldn't just be outsourced to fly-by-night consultants with no skin in the game, and it should be in people's lounge rooms and kitchens. And promises made must be promises kept. I'm looking forward to engaging with members of local communities who are sincere about the challenges they face in relation to the rollout of renewable energy infrastructure and have good, constructive ideas about how the transition to net zero can be done with regional communities, not just to them.